Hello everyone, welcome to my first of 3 Earth, Mech, and Equipment videos. This one is about Veritech. I know some of my targeted audience are questioning why I'm wearing a sweater from Wizards of the Coast. This is just after Christmas, and my sister got me this sweater for Christmas. And say whatever you want of Wizards of the Coast, they make a pretty nice sweater. I hope you enjoy this video. So first up, Veritech Fighter. As you see on this page, there is both Veritech Fighters and Destroids. But like I said, we're focusing on Veritech Fighters. We have type VF1A, standard 1 laser head mount. We also have type VT1D, trainer, 2-seat, 2 laser headed mounts. The VF1J, officer, low ranking, 2 laser head mounts. VF1S, squadron leader and second in command, 4 laser head mounts. Only limited numbers of this model are available. Very important. The Veritech Super Fighter. Body style, the VF1A, J, and S. Additional armor, missile capacity, and self-orbitable. Specifically designed for space patrols in orbit around Earth and moon base. Now, they add a note here for what I personally consider the 6th style of Veritech, which is an armored Veritech. Armored Veritech refers to additional blow-away armor that can fit on any VF1A, J, or S model. Adds additional MDC and AR protection, but can only be used in battle. The armor must be ejected, removed in order to change into Guardian or Jet Fighter mode. Veritech Fighters. Sorry, like I said before, the images are a little grainy. But I'm not complaining. At least I have the books. Jet Fighter mode. Very important mode. This allows you to get very mobile very quickly. History of the Veritech Transformable Fighter. I could read this word for word, but I'll make sure to leave it up on the screen long enough you can pause it to read if you want. But I do intend to go over the important parts, such as the SDF-1, Super Dimensional Fortress. I believe I'm reading that right, which is a video in and of itself, actually. It'll be later on in the future. The Veritech Fighter is actually completely based off of the FDS-1 crashing on Earth. Noticing that this was a alien technology and the fact that it clearly had giant aliens in it, Earth decided to prepare for a war, presuming that the aliens would eventually come to reclaim their lost technology. And so the Robotech Defense Force was born. And from the technology they gathered, one of the first things they created was the Veritech. When the Veritech was first created, it had a jet mode and a combat mode. Obviously a jet and a humanoid. Having problems landing the Veritech properly because adding wheels would add extra weight, they decided to add a half transformation mode where it's a combination of jet and fighter. This created the unintentional Guardian mode. The original intention was just for landing and taking off. But the maneuverability that came with it, combined with the ability it could still use its arms, made it a fast and agile gunfighter, perfect for attack and run operation. It doesn't say that here, but that's what I primarily use the Guardian mode for. Here it talks about how the Veritechs are hybrid technology of human and alien, if I read it correctly. I'll be coming out with a video soon talking about why I say things like that. I'm pretty sure I've annoyed a few people. The VF1A is the standard Veritech fighter. The most distinguishing feature, other than the marking, is that it has 1 laser mounted on its head. GM's note: the VF1A is the model that players will most likely begin with. Other models are reserved for officers and aces. The VF1J has a twin laser unit mounted on its head and is the standard model assigned to proven aces and low-ranking officers, up to lieutenant. The VF1S is exclusive to squadron leaders, commanders, and squadron captains, second in command. The VT1D, training fighter. I don't have to read all of that to simply say it's a trainer. It goes into combat only when absolutely needed. Otherwise, you only see it at the training base. I'm just going to read the first sentence on this bit right here, because the Super Veritech will be covered a little more detail when we get to it. A sort of 5th style or model, the Super Veritech is a sort of 5th style or model is the Super Veritech. It is basically a souped up version of the standard VFA-1, J, and S models. Guardian mode, very important mode. This is actually one of the reasons what makes a Veritech so dangerous and powerful. Hence part of the reason why I said they are great for every campaign, but are also a bit overpowered and not necessarily for every campaign. Down here at the feet, these are the jets when it's in jet mode, which these thrusters give it great maneuverability. Combined with the fact that it can now carry a gun, makes it very dangerous. Great for hit and run tactics and other such things. Standard sensors and equipment for all Veritech mecha. I'm not going to read too much of this, just the names. Most of it's pretty self-explanatory. Field capacity. This talks about the protoculture, which actually has its own video. So I'll be referencing back to this page because there is no section specifically talking about protoculture. Each Veritech has a radar, motion detector and collision warning system, radio, video, communications, laser communications, laser targeting system, combat computer, external audio pickup, loudspeakers, hydraulic pilot chair, ejector seat, utility arms, self-destruct, heat and radiation shields, independent oxygen circulation system, detachable pilot's compartment, all useful things. Robotech fighters. I'm not going to read every bit of this. This particular section covers all 4 types of the Veritech model. The only difference is as the D1 trainer has a passenger and therefore a 2-pilot capacity. Mega damage by location. I will be having a video specifically speaking of mega damage and why these numbers may seem small for this kind of vehicle. They are actually quite huge when compared to what mega damage is. Speed. Jet mode, Mach 4. Guardian mode, Mach 1. Shoot a gun and you can still move at Mach 1. That's why I said Guardian mode is so powerful. 60 miles an hour for battle mode when running. Flying in space. Now it says that because it has maneuvering thrusters that can be used in space. Height, you can see all the numbers, but I'm not going to list them all off. Width, weight, quite a bit. Main engine, the FF2001. Fusion turbine in each leg. Range, 5 years of constant use. 12 years if running under normal circumstances. Weapon system, jet fighter high-powered lasers. Primary purpose, assault. Secondary, anti-missile. Very useful. There's a lot of missiles in these games. Lasers. Primary purpose, assault defense weapon. Secondary purpose, tool for cutting. Heavy missiles. 3 on each wing. Grand total of 6. Primary purpose, assault defense. I'll be covering missiles and how they work as part of combat. Light or medium missiles. Now this is in place of the heavy missiles. You can have 6 on each wing for a grand total of 12. A GU-11 55mm 3-barrel gun pod. Primary purpose, assault defense. Optional hand-to-hand. This is if you are in battle mode. Weapon system summary. This is very useful when you are in-game and you need to look up a stat real quick. But with that said, I personally prefer to write down everything I need on an index card. The VFA-1 fighter. Most common of the fighters. The VTD-1. The trainer. I wish they gave you a better view of the cockpit. I'd love to see how the trainee is sat in there. The VF-1J for low-ranking officers and aces. The VFIS, reserved for high-ranking officers. The Super Veritech. As you can see, it's bulkier than a normal Veritech. And here's why. The Super Veritech is the state-of-the-art design for the Veritech fighter. It's the most powerful version of the Veritech. As you can see, it can be any of the Veritech types. As you can also see, its MDC by location is much higher. It has many of the same weapons. It's slightly bigger. Its weight is 3 tons heavier, and it has secondary engines. Weapon system. Note, the Super Veritech possesses all the usual armaments, plus the following. 2 short-range medium warhead missiles in each forearm for a total of 4. Mega damage varies per missile you use. Missile launching pods, 2 mounted on the back of the Veritech. A payload of 20 medium-range medium warhead missiles for a total of 40. Note, the auxiliary twin booster rocket jets and missile launcher pods can be jettisoned. Special bonuses. These are bonuses that only the Super Veritech possesses. +1 to dodge and parry, +1 extra attack per melee. That is very, very powerful. These bonuses are equal to those gained to hand-to-hand combat. Now it says equal, not replace. That means they actually add to your bonuses. The Armored Veritech. This is the Veritech that cannot change because they are covered in armor and missile pods. Pretty imposing, huh? This here just talks about the fact that it adds extra armor, a lot of extra, and a whole lot of missiles. As you can see, its MDC by location is actually similar to that of the Veritech Superfighter. As you can see, its MDC by location is massively increased over that of a normal Veritech. Additional missile systems. Now, I'm not going to read every single one of these, just their location. Short-range guided missile launchers are mounted on each shoulder. Arm missiles, hip missiles, leg missiles, chest-mounted missiles. The disposable rocket sled. This is specifically designed to get the Veritech into orbit. And that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. My next video will be on destroids. I hope to see you there. Have a great week.